Me type.
Wouldn't let you type?
Nope. It's not letting me type.
I don't know why that would be. It doesn't make any sense.
It says error, try again.
Huh. Hey, how's everybody doing out there tonight? We're having a technical thing over here with Sherry's computer for some reason. It's not letting her type. So she's refreshing. Who we got in here? Easy Bake Barbecue, Carrie. The Echo Octo, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Little Creek Homestead. Sherilyn Stanfield. Deborah E. Browncoat. Hi, Stephen. How you doing? The Music Well. I like your little flag.
Yeah, you would.
Mary's Vegetable Garden.
Not many vegetables in this weather. Not here anyway.
Well, I don't know where she's at.
Well, I said not here anyway.
Well, Easy Bake, that's quite okay. I appreciate you stopping in. We always love having people show their support for us. We appreciate it. Talking 1900. Good to see you. Ah, she's in South Florida.
Well,
so she can grow all year.
I have no idea what south and north is, so.
Well, it's south is down toward the Keys somewhere. I don't know where she's at, but.
So it's on Kara's side?
Well, it could be. It could be on the other side. Sherry's daughter lives on the Atlantic side, not too awful far from.
She's Port St. Richie.
Okay.
Is where she's at.
Port St. Richie. And Mary's Vegetable Garden is in Palm Beach County. I'm not sure where that is. We'll have
Creek
to look that up.
Has a white mess. We didn't send you that because we don't have it.
Hi, Smudge. How are you tonight?
Good evening, Rocking Sea.
Hope we get some snow on Thursday. What's going on Thursday?
What's going on Thursday that you want snow? I mean...
It's a week from Thursday is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but... Brenda's in Missouri. Maybe she can send you some. Apparently, Little Creek can send some.
Country Homestead Preacher. Good evening.
Ah, it melted. Wow. The Music Well.
Tennessee.
Snow coming through.
Yeah, I don't think they get a lot of snow in Tennessee.
No, because I know Dana was having fits last year because there was snow.
Yeah, they're really go
Dana's
nuts.
in East, yeah. Dana's in East Tennessee.
They really go nuts when they get snow.
Oh, see, it melted where Little Creek is, but didn't melt at Duncan 1900. Ah, the bearded giant. Welcome. Carrie, do you mean snowflakes? As in the white stuff coming from the sky, or other flakes? Because I saw some of the other flakes while we were out and about today.
So let's just start this off by first asking, has anybody had any issues in doing their videos this week? We've had a couple.
Cooking with CJ, Grandma.
Every time I do one of our music live streams, I get a copyright strike.
Yeah, sure do.
Oh, this is getting to be... And the strangest part is I'm getting copyright strikes, and they're telling me songs, they're giving me timestamps, and that song isn't being played during those timestamps, nor am I playing the song that they're giving me a copyright strike on. This is really out of control. They have these little bots like Smudge that go in there and look at all the ones and zeros and says, oh, this one and this zero matches, so we're gonna give a copyright violation to this channel so we can get whatever 2 cents that they might have gotten. So, and that's pretty much what it boils down to. We do a 12-hour stream or so with the music, which we enjoy doing. I know a lot of people like to listen to that. They just turn it on and kind of leave it in the background, and some people go to sleep over it and wake up to it. Bandana, good to see you. And folks, I mean, you know, that maybe gets us 2 cents, maybe, depending upon how many come in and out. But we appreciate it. We enjoy doing it, and we hope you appreciate our efforts. So, Bandana, how are things up your way? You got any snow?
How would you save an intro clip and reuse it?
Oh, okay. Well, that's not hard to do. Let me show you what I do. Yeah.
Now, the bearded giant has let the music play a few times in the background.
All right. Let me bring it up over here on the other screen. The first thing I'll do is we'll get Filmora running. So we'll bring it up. And we'll go into full feature mode. Okay, to give you an idea how I do that, I'm just going to grab some of these. You can use a video clip, you can use a snapshot.
Sunshine Cooper's first time here.
I'm glad you made it. We appreciate everybody in there. So I'm just going to grab a few, just a few snapshots here, and bring them down. Throw them on the timeline. Moved on me. Here we go. Okay, so here we have just a very short collection of snapshots. So pretend they're of whatever your subject you want to have. Let's doctor them up just a little bit. Let's put some transitions between them so they're just a little bit fancier. And I'm just grabbing these things at random. Oops. There we go. What I generally do with the transitions, I'll spread this out so you can see a little better, is I put the transitions so that they overlap or cross between the clips. I just find that to be a smoother way. You can affix them to the front of a clip or the end of a clip. And to change that, if you just double click on the transition, you can say the prefix or the postfix of the clip. And if there's not enough media, you can use trim frames or use repeat frames. You can change the duration of the transition. They are by default set at 2 seconds. And I find it to look fairly decent. So what we have here now is we have, by default, pictures are 5 seconds. So we have 5 seconds with the last second and the first second of the next clip going into the transition mode where it slides apart, or whatever transition you have picked to use. And then, of course, with Filmora, if you play it to the end, it pops back to the beginning. So we'll say okay with that, and well, let's go just a little bit more here. We'll want to add some movement, so let's put an overlay in here. We'll add some color and movement. And again, these are by default 5 seconds, but you can stretch this out so we can cover the entire time period. So now when you play this is just added a little bit of color and movement to your static slides. And I have this set so that it is running for 35 seconds. So I obviously have 7 clips in here. And I don't want it to run that long. In other words, I want a shorter intro. But I've used just pictures, so I can go in and I can, whoops. I don't want to edit it like that, but I could, if I highlight any one of these pictures, I can go into the set the duration mode, and instead of 5 seconds, I'm going to make these be 3 seconds, and then I'm going to say apply it to all, so all of the clips on the timeline will now turn into 3-second clips. Now, that did not change my overlay. So I'll just bring it down to match. But I am now set for 21 seconds, a 21-second intro. And to see what it looks like, we'll just play it through here real quick. Okay, and we want, we've got to have some titles in here of some sort. We'll just bring this one down. I don't want it to start right at the very beginning, because a lot of times the very beginning of a video clip, when it's replayed on YouTube, it gets lost. Sometimes your browser's catching up and different things like that. So I usually bring it in a little bit, about a second, thereabouts. And that's where it's set right there at 1 second. That's what my timeline is. The titles, again, by default are 5 seconds long, but I want this to be longer. I'm going to do a few things with it, so we'll just increase the time here. I can either type in the time, or I can use the little arrow keys here. We're going to make this title last 10 seconds. So we'll say OK here, and then to edit it, double click on it. Go into advanced, that way you can see what you have. And this particular title has 4 lines, or 4 functions, I guess I should say. Has a bar across the top, and then 3 text lines. So we'll, they're a little hard to see on that background, so let's, on the bar, about all you can do with the bar is change the color. Well, let's try orange, see what that looks like. Doesn't show much. Now the black stands out. So the first line would be, they have it titled Your. So this will be my channel. And I want to doctor those letters up a little bit. We'll go with black. Let's put a border around it. The magenta is fine. And let's even add a little bit of a shadow to it. Now the shadow is black in color. The blur is set to a 5. We can they're good places to start. And then the distance, I'm going to increase the distance a little bit out in the middle so I can see the shadow getting out to the back. If I wanted to go in a different way with Filmora, you just simply choose a different font type here. There's no thing where you can dynamically move it. It's based on what type you choose in the type box. So what I have here is I have black type. I have no effect. It's just a straight color. I could make it a multicolor, but we're just going to leave it straight color. I have it outlined in a fuchsia, which was the default color, and I have a border with the blur set at 5 and the distance set at 10. So if I want to continue that on these other lines, I can do so. So the headline, we'll do the same thing with that. We'll make it black in color. We'll add the border by checking this and just leave the default there. And we'll add the shadow. I need to increase the distance to 10 to make it match the first line. And then for here, my channel headline starts now. And I need to change that color so it matches the other. Add the border, add the shadow. Okay. So I've taken the original plain Jane title and I've modified it now some, and I can look at it before I save it. See what it looks like. Now, if you noticed, it comes in steps. That's your individual lines down here and how those are adjusted. I can take these and slide them if I can get a hold of it. So now, when I play it, you notice that my channel doesn't come in until much later. Let's change to my channel again. I want to do some animation. So I will add the up insert in it. So now when I play it, now, if I don't want my channel to scroll off the screen, I can come in here to the center part and slide it all the way out here to the end. Now when I play it, it should stay, if I did it right. Okay, so I'm happy with that. My title, I can save that as a preset right here, where I'll have this as a default, so I can save that. Well, let's just do that, so I'll show you. And we'll leave the default name here. My preset one will say, okay. Oops. Well, that's okay, yeah, because I think I did this once before in an earlier class. So my preset one is now my default. So we'll click OK. I now have, you always look at it again, make sure it's what you want. Not too bad. We could add music. Let me make sure I have things set up here so I don't develop double echoes for you folks. Okay. That's good enough. So I'll bring that in here. I'll put it in the music track. You can change the size of these boxes so you can see more of what you have. I need to go to the 21-second mark because that's when my I'm done with my little slideshow here that I just created. I'm going to take the music, have it highlighted, and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to take the back part of the music and just delete it. And I am going to have it fade out. I generally make my fades roughly around a second. And we'll say okay. So now when we play this, all right, I've decided this is what I want for my intro. So we'll export it. Export it as an MP4. And we're going to say test intro. And I have this going into my video folder, which is fine. Someplace where you know where it is. When you click on the little icon up here, you can direct to where you want it to go. I don't want it to go to Dell. I want it to go to videos. Okay. And it's called test intro, so I know the name. And I just simply, I check my settings. For intros and things like that, always run them at the best setting. Say okay and export it. So it'll take this small short intro and turn it into an MP4 file. So let me get back over here and take a peek. Roy Parman, my diploma is PC Techie 2, but not this stuff. Well, I'm a retired network administrator, Roy, so I understand your background there. Teal House Farm, good evening. Bev JS. Daniel, how's things over there in the Amish country?
Oh, he's been working at the toy shop in Ashland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one off of 250 and 71.
Oh, the toy shop.
Yeah, the toy shop.
The toy shop.
Yeah.
The Bang Bang toy shop.
Bang Bang toy shop. Yes.
Wheat Tree, glad to see you here.
Andy, finally! Where have you been?
Hey, we've got a fella in the room here that's gonna be on our show on
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. Blissful Acres Off-Grid Homestead.
I hear you, Blissful Acres. One of these days I'm going to have to sit down and figure it out myself. Not soon, but one of these days.
Getting started on homesteading. Good evening. Pretty Girl Nano Farm. Hello, how you doing? Paul's Blind Soup for the Soul. Okay, so you're using Filmora on your phone. I've heard a lot of good things about that. My fingers are too fat to do that on the phone, so.
Well, you have a small phone, too.
And I have a small phone.
Yeah. What's a normal length video?
Well, it depends on the subject. You're going to hear all kinds of things out there. You're going to hear, oh, you should always have your videos, 5 to 7 minutes in length, and they should always start with exactly the same thing and end with exactly the same thing. And there's all kinds of professional people that tell you all these things, and then you go watch some of their videos and they don't do any of them anyway. So I would say whatever the subject is will determine the length. There's a lot of very, very successful YouTubers that I don't think they have any videos that are less than 30 minutes in length, but it depends on what they're doing.
Weetree asked how much, and isn't the lifetime version $69, or it was?
It's $59.95.
Okay, I thought
$60.
Okay, see there, Weetree, it's $10 cheaper.
It's the lifetime version for Filmora is $60. I looked at it from the standpoint it cost me that much money to fill up the gas tank on my truck, so it's not an overly expensive piece of software. I'm not saying it's the best software. I'm not saying that by any means, but it's a good, solid piece of software, and you do get support. You do get upgrades for life. It's just plain a good deal, and you can do a lot with it. It's easy to use. It's intuitive. All right,
yeah.
So I'll close this.
Great. Roy says, depends how they do it. I know Bushcrafter who regularly does 1 hour plus, but he has an awesome eye for angles, cut shots, etc. Yeah, that could be.
Okay. So what I'm going to do here now, just to show you what we have, let me get some more real estate here. I'm going to go back and I'm going to say I want to do a new project. And I want it to be 60 by 9. That's a full screen YouTube project. Your phone, if you hold it horizontally, is a 9 by 16. So 16 by 9. It says the project has been modified. You want to save the changes. In this case, I'm going to say no, but if it's a good habit to get into to save your projects, because this is just a demonstration for you folks, I'm going to say no.
So Tealhouse wants to know how much time you usually spend editing a video.
How much time do I... Well, depends on the video. And it depends on the subject matter of the video. It depends on... For example, as many of you know, we like to go to these different meetups and conferences and stuff like that. If I set the video camera up in the background, I may just leave it sit there and run for a couple hours, because that way I'm capturing everything. Well, you take a 2-hour video and then you want to chop it down and maybe get that into a 30-minute piece. Well, that may take me an hour or so. Depends on the amount of detail. When Sherry makes a lot of the videos that she makes, I can do them very quickly.
They're short. I don't make them long. Except for the wedding one that's not done yet.
It is done.
I didn't know that.
Oh, well, it's done. See, I get them done and if she thinks I'm still working on it, that way I can get some other stuff done. Mm-hmm. All right. So now, let's see what we have here. You asked to have that as an intro. So I have a different video here that we're just going to say that's what...
Thank you, Weetree.
I missed it.
She says, bad, Daryl, bad.
Okay, so
somebody stick up for me.
So this is the video that I'm going to work on. I bring it in, I get it all edited and everything, but I want to put my intro on the beginning of it. So I come up here and I'll go import media file, go out to videos. Oh, what did I name that video? Test intro, there we go. And I'll bring that in. So here's my little intro that I want to put in front of all my videos. I've already taken my raw files here and I've edited them to the point where I'm happy with it. I just want to put my intro on the beginning of it. So I'll bring it down, slide it over to the far left-hand side. When I let go, it will jump right in front of the other video. There it is. Now, depending upon what you have, what your video is, you may want to put a transition in between your video, between your intro and your video. You may want to add a blank color screen in. You may want to put a little countdown thing in here to start to the video. But here we have your intro track. I'll just play the last few seconds of it. It fades out. We go into the countdown. And then we're into this next video that we just created. So that's how you do an intro. You can save that out there for as long as you want. Now, something else you can do, and this is just some hints for the future. You know, we put sound on this particular intro. So when we play it, that's just what we have. And that's how I'd recommend you doing it. If you decide that you want some sort of a sound or theme, sound clip with your intro, by all means record it in that fashion. Because what you can do, let me go back here to this. No, I won't. I'll put my little countdown clock here behind it. Now I've modified this and I've decided, geez, I want the sound to go further. I want it to include the countdown area. Just go into your intro, do a right click on it, detach the audio. Doesn't look like I detached it. Yeah, I did. So now I should be able to take, I'm sorry, I detached the audio and it's down here. I'll take this audio and I'm going to move it off to the side, way away from the clips, because I'm going to delete it.
Can Smudge put his PayPal address up? We just asked if Smudge could put his PayPal address up.
Type PayPal.
Have you on mine?
Just type PayPal.
Doesn't do squat on mine. There it goes. I'll be darned. Look at that. Oh, shush. Retree's giving me a look.
Okay, so now...
Duncan, that's because we were dead before, apparently. She's got notice we're live.
Now we have just the video with the countdown timer, no music, So we go back into the music, and I decided I want this music instead. So I'll bring it in here. I have it right at the end, which should be 26 seconds. Actually, it's just a smidgen over, but it's close enough. I'll cut it. Make sure that it's highlighted what I want to get rid of. Delete it. And now we have created the same intro with different music. That includes this little countdown thing leading into the video you're creating. Okay. Let's see, what else can we cut? Oh, I guess I should show you. We created that custom title. We named it My Preset 1. I'm going to bring it down in here, and I'm going to add it at the last part of the clip here. So now we'll go back to the beginning. And you notice I didn't have to go in and edit it because it's identical to this one that we have here. That's how I saved it. We can shorten the length of that. We'll get just a little further so we have a little bit of intro for you. So hopefully that gave you an idea on a good way to create an intro for your channel, save it off to the side, and use it on all the videos you make. Do the same thing with an outro. Let me go back in, new project. That's the fastest way for me to clear this stuff off. Project modified. No, I don't want to save the changes. I'll go back into my little album here, and just to show you, I'm going to import if you look at my folder here, you'll see one called 15 seconds, 18 seconds, 20 seconds. Those are intro clips for our Monday night show. So if I check the 15 second, I'm going to open it. We'll bring it down in here. So that's the intro I can throw on in front of the little promos we do for every channel that joins us on Monday night. So I'll use it for a few weeks, or maybe alternate between a couple different ones. Now let me get back over here to the chat. You need one-on-one classes. Folks, I am happy to help. Obviously, you know, I may have other things that come up that I'm not necessarily available all the time, but...
Well, I mentioned that you may do classes in Mississippi.
You did?
Yeah, people have already been asking it. And you're going to have it all set up anyway. Lord knows if we get Rusty and Andy in front of the computer again on the live stream. Class clown. I don't know, Andy. You and Rusty last year on the live stream were just... You made it.
So did this just... Yeah, Daniel, I know. I know. How do you make a channel title like a watermark over the video? Okay.
You mean like putting Smudge's face down in the corner or something like that?
I'm guessing
that watermark or the name of the channel? Is that what you mean?
I'm guessing that's what she's talking about. So let's go back to my 21-second test intro. And now I want to do a watermark, if you would, over this. Some sort of branding. Well, what I want to use. We'll use smudge. It could be text. It could be whatever you want it to be, but we're going to use a picture of smudge.
The sound has some reverb. And the name of the channel. So that's what you got. Either the name of the channel or what we put Smudge in the corner.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Those are videos. Here we go. Pictures.
Kira, you making a dessert for the collab? And I did see your answer the other day.
Oh, here, we'll go crazy.
Oh, put the Google eyes in it.
The Google eyes? Okay.
Cast it. Oh, okay.
All right. These eyes will pretty much only show up on a light background. So let me bring them down as a picture-in-picture. And I'm going to resize them. And we'll just throw them up here in the corner. Now I'm going to take these eyes and I'm going to stretch them. I can either stretch them out by grabbing and dragging, or if I know how long I want it to be, I can just change the duration. This should be about 21 seconds. So now when this is played, those eyes are there all the time. That's your little watermark. You can go in and change the density, the opacity of it. I can make them lighter so they're a little bit more see-through. There's a lot of different subtle things you can do here. And depending upon what image you're using or what whatever you're doing to do this. Here, let me just show you. We'll take the eyes back out. Let's go in here. I just happened to see these things earlier. In case anybody's wondering, these are just some things that I made for doing some of the wooden signs for the gathering last year. I used this to create a template to put on the wood to route out. But all it is, it's a white background with the text file, and I took a snapshot of it. So we're gonna have it go the entire way. Well, it'd be easier to do it this way. But obviously this covers up the entire thing, and I don't want that. It's also way too big, so I'll resize it. We'll throw it up here in the corner where we had the eyes. But now I'm going to go into the advanced. In this particular case, I have black on a white background. So I'm going to use what they call a chroma key or green screen. So I'll check that. And if I move my mouse over top of the image and click on it, it'll pick up the white and leave the black. Click OK, and then you'll just see the crazy days. Everything else is transparent. But I'm going to hit cancel on that because I'm going to show you a different thing you can do here. We'll get this pretty well full size again. Let me go into that same area. And I'm going to use the chroma key, but if you notice it presets on black. So I'll say OK. And now the lettering is transparent, so you can see through it for the background. We'll get it pretty well centered on there. Let's put a mask around it. Because of the size of it, let's try this one. Cuts it off a little bit. We'll go with this one. There we go. So you obviously wouldn't want this throughout the whole movie, but what I'm attempting to show you here is just some different things you could do to create maybe some of your own titling, where you could have this part just be your title area. Okay. Was there any questions in what we did? Does that perhaps help you a little bit? Kilted Gardener, good evening. I'm just kind of reading through the comments here. I'm hoping that I answered your question on creating an intro and saving it, and how you can then insert it in front of all your videos. We kind of got a little bit in depth on some of the titling, where you could save a custom title, where you can make your own custom title, like I just showed you here, where you can have a moving background behind it. And actually, you can also...
Country Homestead Preacher said yes, very helpful.
You can go a step further with creating that. So you can come up with some pretty wild stuff. Do not be afraid to experiment. This program will never harm your original file. The only way you can hurt that file is if you overwrite it. And this program won't do that. So how was everybody's week? Yeah. Fade this back over here. Everybody have a good week? Roy, by all means, if you most editing softwares have a tremendous amount of similarities in them, and some are more intuitive to use than others. But the same thought processes apply to any of them. Introducing their video before the video. We've done some of that, where you play a little bit of the video or something, and then have a stop and introduce the video. And if some we don't introduce at all, we just go right into it. I don't know if there's any magic thing out there. There truly isn't. An infectious smile, being genuine, regular uploads, whatever regular means to you.
Have you noticed that lately people are introducing their video before the video? What's all that about?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's just in an effort to be a little different. And that's fine. That's fine. Walter Davis, good evening. I don't think I said hello to you. Geez, we have am I going to have to rent more chairs?
I'm going to have to get a bigger room. What would you suggest as a good starting app for a newbie for editing? I would say Filmora.
Yes. Filmora's biggest drawbacks. Let me put it this way. The biggest drawback that I can find with Filmora is if you use multiple cameras. If you have more than one camera videotaping the same item from different angles, Filmora is very, very tough to align those two videos. You can do it, and you can do it especially if you remember to create something as you're doing the video. Clapping your hands. The old clapboard that I'm sure people saw from, well, I don't know, we're older now. I'm not sure any of these young folk have ever seen a movie where they have the...
Well, they could.
But I would like to think everybody has seen the clapboard, they call them, where it went action and the board came down, and the reason for doing that was to sync all the cameras, sound, everything together. You can totally do a video where the video camera is not even using a microphone and just record on some other device and put the two together, and nobody would know the difference. You just have to be able to sync it.
Nano, she knows what a clapboard is.
So had to stop and look and see what I was broadcasting here. I guess it's me.
Oh, Rusty, not that. Boy, now we got Rusty and Andy together again. Brenda, is that a clap on, clap off? You have those?
Yeah, lights on, lights off. Well, it's after 9. Anybody would just want to chat? Class is over, I'll just... Oh, I know what I could do. I know Smudge has been sharing this with you folks. But, and Mark's not in the room here, so, but here we go.
Did you know Two Family Homestead has t-shirts? Yeah, t-shirts with me on them. And they start at just $24 delivered to your door in the United States. They have some long sleeves, those are $1 more. But just send an email to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. Tell them what size you need, and they'll get right back to you with what colors are available in your size. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Oh, and don't forget, they make great Christmas presents. Bye-bye.
So there we have Smudge talking about the t-shirts.
Brenda still can't find their shirts.
And of course, we are Thrive Life folks. That
And their Black Friday sale is going to be awesome. I looked at it today.
any other questions? If you do have some, send us an email to Family Homestead. Put Filmora in the subject line, that way we can pick them out real easy. If it's something you're in the middle of working on and you need for me to get back with you,
I'm afraid to ask. Rusty, what's your question?
as soon as possible, indicate that. I can perhaps either call you, or we could establish a Skype deal where we could do a one-on-one type thing.
There you go. Rusty has a question for you, Daryl.
Well, I'm waiting.
Well, Weetree deleted it. He wanted to know if cocaine, was it cocaine? Yeah, Weetree got it before anyone else could read it.
Be good now.
He wanted to know if cocaine was a heck of a drug. Wouldn't know. Only drugs we take our prescription.
I have my coke drug right here.
Yeah, liquid. That's what we love about you, Weetree. You grab them fast just like I do.
I don't.
Yeah, that's one way to do it, Roy. You're right. You're right. Well, it's 10 after 9. That 1870s Homestead is on.
Yep.
Very good, Rusty. Very good. Have you loaded that program yet?
Thank you, everybody, for being here. We appreciate each and every one of you. All of our moderators, thank you very, very much. Be nice to Smudge this week. He's still learning.
Oh, did she buy you another pizza? There's no way you love me more. Ain't possible.
Roy, you're very welcome. Anytime we can help,
Mexican
holler
food.
at us.
Everyone, have a great evening. Come Thursday morning, check our channel. We will have a playlist up. Favorite holiday dessert or holiday desserts.
Oh, we're gonna put this other one up before Thursday?
Yes, but
yeah,
everyone will be joining it come Thursday morning.
Yeah.
And at this point, we have at least 39 channels. that are joining in. You have to ask Rusty, Brenda. Rusty had the pizza last night. Hey, Lucas.
Possum pizza
see you
with
in March.
Possum pizza with beaver slices.
Yum. Have a good one.
And porcupine dressing.
Sammy, Vicky, Country Girl, Andy, Rusty, love you all.
Take care, everyone. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for being here. Thanks again, moderators. And take care, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.